Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. My name is Brent Nicole, and I serve as Vice President on the FirstU Board of Directors. Normally, if you would like more information about First Unitarian, it would be available at the welcome table at the back of the pews. However, while the FirstU building is closed because of the COVID-19 virus, you may instead contact us through email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. I repeat, for more information, please email us at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. After this service and future services, our normal hospitality hour will be replaced by a virtual getting together on Zoom, usually starting at 11:30 a.m. Sunday mornings, Ottawa time. If you would like to join us for hospitality hour on Zoom, you can find information on how to do so in our weekly email newsletter, The EUU, or on our website, www.firstunitarianottawa.ca. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, however you identify, and whomever you love, today you are part of our spiritual community. Welcome. We hope you come back soon.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jody McIntosh, and I'm a member of the Settled Minister Search Committee. We are tasked to finding the next minister for First Unitarian. I'm here this morning with exciting news. One of the most important parts of the search process is the Congregational Survey. It is now ready to complete online or on paper. You can find the link in the EUU or on FirstU's website. Everyone involved with First Unitarian can complete the survey whether you are an official member or not. Searching ministers look for a high participation rate by congregants, so please complete the survey and remind your FirstU friends. Finally, save the date for Saturday, September 26. We are hosting a workshop called Beyond Categorical Thinking. It will be online from 10 o'clock to 11:30 and from 1:30 till 3 o'clock. This is an important part of the search process, so please consider attending. More details will follow next week. Thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John, and I'm happy to be your worship associate this morning. Although the doors to our building are closed due to our coronavirus, we are still a vibrant congregation with open minds, spirits, and hearts. This morning, I welcome you into my home and the homes of this morning's board member, the music director, and our speaker. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. Even though we are in separate places, protecting ourselves and others by staying away from a crowd, here we are together online, listening, connecting, and soon to be singing. I hope this moment finds you well. A few more announcements. While the building is closed, staff are working remotely and are monitoring emails during usual working hours. Phone calls will be checked less regularly, so do please email for a quicker response. With physical distancing, it is more important than ever to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. Check our Facebook page and our webpage for notices and updates. Our online calendar is as full as ever. Today, we welcome a guest speaker, Sheldon Leong. Sheldon has more than 18 years of fundraising experience and has worked with nonprofit organizations in Vancouver and Ottawa. Throughout his career, he has successfully raised funds to support child health, the environment, education, international development, and the arts. Having moved to Ottawa in 2011 and establishing roots with his young family, he is committed to improving the lives of those in need in the community. The Multifaith Housing Initiative's mission is to provide and promote safe, affordable, and well-maintained housing in inclusive communities and to mobilize resources for these purposes. In 2001, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Ottawa came together with Jewish and Muslim communities to take action against the rising problem of homelessness and lack of affordable housing in the city of Ottawa. The Multifaith Housing Initiative of Ottawa was established as a Canadian nonprofit charitable organization in 2002, which has continued into a coalition of over 80 faith communities, including Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindu, Unitarians, Baha'i, and other faiths from across the city of Ottawa. These members are dedicated to achieving MHI's goal to create more affordable housing in Ottawa while promoting tolerance and respect among residents of all faiths. Currently, MHI owns a total of 139 units, housing between 300 and 400 people, at 4 different property sites: Blake House, The Haven, Kent House, and Somerset Gardens. We are also in construction for a new community for homeless veterans. The community is located at the former Rockcliffe Air Base and is expected to be completed in early 2001. We look forward to Sheldon's words later in this service. There will be a shelter to give shade from the heat by day, and refuge and protection from the storm and the rain. That's from Isaiah chapter 4, verse 6. And you know, I just got back from a camping trip in Algonquin Park. I'll probably have more to say about that shortly. But I realized how tiring it is to be in a tent for a few nights, and you never get a good night's sleep, and the weather changes sometimes even through the course of the evening. You're always a bit tired. And I go for a bike ride down to Bayview Station, where remnants of the tent city are still put up. There are some tents and some homeless people who sleep there, and I can't imagine what it must be like to do that week after week. Isn't it good that we have people from different faiths who are willing to do something about this? Light the chalice. Now let us sing the chalice lighting song.
Chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we'd like to live each day with love and truth helping lead the way.
Oh, hi there. How's your summer been? I think the last time I was a worship associate was at the beginning of the summer. Now it's September the 6th. Summer's over. I hope you had a good one. It's been very strange with this pandemic and all of the COVID. You know, I had a lot of plans for our children. We were going to go on some exciting trips, maybe get out of the country for a bit. That was all canceled, of course, so we've had kind of a quiet summer here. And, you know, a week ago, I thought I'll try to salvage something, and I took our kids on a camping trip in the backwoods of Algonquin Park. So we drove up there, and of course, after the trip had been planned, we found out that a hurricane was going to pass through on the first day of our trip. We decided to go anyway. The weather forecast had said, yep, you know, the weather should clear up by the middle of the afternoon, and then after that you should be okay. So we got deep into the woods, and by the middle of the afternoon, wouldn't you know it, it was still pouring rain. And we finally got to our campsite at about 8 o'clock at night, and it was still pouring rain. We set up our tent, boiled some noodles, and got ready to go to bed. And the kids really weren't enjoying it that much. In fact, our eldest daughter said to me, "Dad, you know, if it's still raining tomorrow, I think I've lost my faith in everything." And I thought, well, that's kind of an existential statement there. But then I thought, you know what? A couple of hours ago, I was on the third portage at about the 800th meter. And if you've done this kind of stuff, you know how tiring that can get. And I slipped on a rock, and the canoe fell on my head, and I sprained my wrist. and I looked up in the sky and saw the entrails of Hurricane Laura spewing on me, and I found myself shaking my fist up at the heavens and saying, "Give us a break, come on. You've already destroyed all the summer. Can't we at least have one simple camping trip?" And it occurred to me that, I'm 40 years older than our children, and I haven't figured out how to handle this any better than they have. And I know it's just a camping trip, and I try to be grateful. I know that I have a lot to be thankful for. But I still find myself getting angry and resentful when things like this happen. I have friends, we're all in our 50s now. We all find ourselves just becoming angrier and becoming angry, grumpy old men. It's something I'm working on. I'm trying to be like Jesus. I'm trying to be like Buddha. I'm trying to be grateful. But it's hard sometimes. Anyway, I hope this strange summer that we've just had has given all of you a chance to work on your things. I've certainly had a few opportunities to work on my own stuff. Have a good fall. This is the time in the service when we are drawn closer to our inner selves and hold those both near and far, loved ones and strangers, in our hearts. For those you are thinking of, for joys and concerns. A stone of joy for Amy McKay, who got accepted into a master's program in counseling psychology and begins this month. And also, for Amy, a stone of concern, as she learns she has thyroid cancer and is having a thyroidectomy this weekend to remove it. We hope she is back singing in a few weeks. One last pebble to symbolize the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts and minds for everyone else. Let us share a moment of silence.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a presentation on Multifaith Housing Initiative. My name is Sheldon Leong, and I'm the Fund Development Manager at MHI. In today's presentation, I'll cover three areas, starting off with a brief introduction of MHI, followed by a closer look on our current project, Veterans House, and I'll end by looking at ways in which you can help. So, Multifaith Housing 101. Since 2002, MHI has existed because of a long-standing need in our city for affordable housing. On January 29th this year, the City of Ottawa declared a housing state of emergency. 12,000 households are waiting for affordable housing in Ottawa. This number has only increased in recent years from 10,000, and the average waiting time is approximately 7 years. Our mission is to provide safe and affordable housing in inclusive communities and to mobilize resources for these purposes. Our prized resources are our members, volunteers, and donors. We currently have over 80 faith groups who are members, including Baha'i, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and Hindu communities, and our volunteers come from both civil and religious societies. We currently have 139 units that we rent out and close to 400 residents who live in our communities, many of whom are children. At the moment, MHI has 4 properties, with the 5th one in construction, that being Veterans House. Prior to Veterans House, the Haven was completed in 2017 on time and on budget. Now, what you'll notice in all our communities is our commitment to providing our tenants with housing that are safe and affordable. And on top of that, we are building communities that are inclusive, economically diverse, and welcoming. We have heard from our residents that they often feel like they belong to the community, something that they've never felt elsewhere. And finally, our communities are located close to transit routes that are convenient for our tenants to go from one place to the other. Now, in the last 5 years or so, MHI has experienced rapid growth, fueled by the development of the Haven, where we added 98 units. This growth was made possible by a dedicated team of volunteers and a growing donor base. We have over 200 volunteers in our database and 80 or so who are actively engaged in a variety of committees such as finance, fundraising, development, and resident relations, just to name a few. The assistance we receive from our volunteers add up to approximately 2 full-time employees. Now, for an organization with only 5 full-time staff members, that is a very significant contribution. MHI has also seen an increase in donations from our existing donors and from new donors as well, as we experienced recently with the very successful Tulipathon. When we had to switch this year's event to a virtual walk, we didn't know what to expect. Now, because of COVID-19, we couldn't bring together our members and volunteers at the end of May to show our support for more affordable housing in our city. Well, it turns out that our members and donors are absolutely committed to supporting our tenants. And not only did they give generously, they also encouraged their friends and families to donate as well. Now, as a result, we raised a record-breaking amount totaling $68,665, and that's over $30,000 more than our previous record last year of just over $37,000. Thank you to First Unitarian for raising an incredible $4,556 for this year's event. As mentioned earlier, our latest project that is under construction is Veterans House, the Andy Carswell building. Now, we broke ground on this project in September 2019. Unlike other communities that we've built or renovated, Veterans House is built specifically for veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. We are building 40 bachelor units in this new community, which is located on the former Rockcliffe Air Base. Not only will Veterans House provide a roof over the heads of the veterans, we will also be providing the necessary support to help them deal with any mental health and addiction issues. This project is the first of its kind in Canada, where we are offering permanent and supportive housing to our veteran community. We will also be offering peer mentoring support and job retraining program to help the veterans to get back on their feet and integrate into civilian life. While construction of the project was never halted, we did get slowed down due to COVID-19. As a result, the original completion date of November this year has been delayed to January 2021. The entire project costs $11.5 million. And with the donations we have received so far and the government support through the National Housing Program, we have raised close to $9.5 million, leaving us $2 million to fundraise by the summer of 2021. Now, I do want to point out that regardless of whether we raise the remaining $2 million, the project will be completed. That's because our contingency plan is to activate a long-term loan to cover the balance. Now, that's something that we will try our best not to do, because that would mean that we will need to increase the monthly rent slightly to help pay for the mortgage payments. At the moment, the rent that each veteran would pay is $497 a month. Earlier this summer, we formed a working group to develop an intake process that will help guide the application process for those interested in moving into Veterans House. The group consists of representatives from Ottawa Chalice, Veterans Affairs Canada, the Royal Canadian Legion, Soldiers Helping Soldiers, and from the various shelters in the city. Now, here's a short video on how construction has been progressing and how we are building the project with energy efficiency and sustainability in mind.
My name is Sheldon. I'm a site super for McDonald Brother. Right now we're at the Passive House on Mackinac Road, so a building from MHI. This is a passive house, so the building envelope is different from a standard building. The walls are thicker, the vapor barrier is different. There's a lot of stuff that's not a common household building. The idea is to save energy. Everything was going fine until the COVID came in there, so it created quite a few issues for material, manpower too, and everything else. An example, we had my electrician, the contractor, closed for over a week because one of his guys went to get tested, so we stopped just in case for precaution measure, in case he had the COVID, but he didn't have it. So it's little things like that makes the schedule longer. Example, materials are hard to get, and there's not enough transport. You can't go to the store and buy anything anymore. You have to order everything online, and you have to wait. We're scheduled to finish around January, the whole building there. So if the weather permits and everything else, if COVID slacks off there, we should be okay there.
Now, as Serge had mentioned, barring any further delay, we hope to welcome 40 veterans into their new home in early 2021. MHI success is directly tied to the support we receive from our members and from the community. We are constantly looking to engage individuals in Ottawa to learn more about how MHI is helping to address the issue of homelessness in our city. You can join our email list or follow us on social media, or you can visit our website where you can join as a volunteer or donate to support the work that we do. You can also sign up for our mailing list by visiting our website at www.multifaithhousing.ca. And here's a list of where you can find us on social media, specifically on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And from our website, you can also make a donation through a secure connection or sign up to be a volunteer. First Unitarian has been a long-standing member of MHI, and we look forward to many more years of partnering with your faith organization. And if you would like to book a representative from MHI for a different presentation, feel free to do so on our website by clicking on the Book a Speaker option. Now, I wish I was able to deliver this presentation in person, but I hope this video was able to give you some insight as to who we are and what we are working on currently as we continue our efforts to help those who are seeking safe and affordable housing in our city. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, and stay safe.
This is the time in our service that we usually accept the offering. You may go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how you might keep up with your pledge or make a donation during these times. We give these gifts freely. We receive these gifts gratefully. We dedicate these gifts to the work of the congregation, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, and loving one another. You know, one of the things I like most about the life of Jesus and Christianity in general is that it seems to me basically to be a religion of action. And so Jesus would always, if he saw something that he thought was wrong, would do something to try to fix it. And I think the Multifaith Housing Initiative has taken that and combined with all the other great religions and worked to solve this housing problem that we have here in Ottawa. And I think we need to remember that we can all take action against things that we think are wrong. I'd like to read a little quote here from Leonardo da Vinci, who had some thoughts about this. It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sit back and let things happen to them. They go out and happen to things. Let us sing Spirit of Life.
Sing in my heart.
Go in peace, go in love, go in joy, and may all be well. Have a great week, everyone.